Raila Odinga is the only politician in this country who enjoys fanatical support from across the country, but is facing a dilemma. The dilemma of whether to run or not to run for the presidency in 2022. So today I want us to look at this dilemma and whether Raila Odinga should actually run or he should not run in 2022. But before we do that, kindly remember to subscribe. Raila Odinga has contested for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya 4 times. In 1997, Raila Odinga contested, and I think he was just trying his luck. And in 2007, Raila Odinga contested for the presidency and he won with a landslide. But the victory was stolen from him. And in 2013 and 2017, Raila Odinga also contested. And his supporters up to today believe Raila Odinga won those elections, but the system used a more sophisticated methods to rob him of his victory. And that's debatable. And Raila Odinga enjoys one thing amongst all these other politicians in this country. He enjoys a fanatical support. Take for example President Uhuru Kenyatta. President Uhuru Kenyatta received votes, almost 99% from Central Kenya. But today, President Uhuru Kenyatta is the most hated politician in Central Kenya. Why? Because these guys just wanted the presidency to go back to Central. They wanted to retain the presidency, and that's why they voted for him. They never believed in him. And the same is happening to William Ruto. The people of Rift Valley who are supporting William Ruto to the core are doing that because they want the presidency back to Rift Valley. There's nothing, or there's no reason why they are actually supporting William Samoei Ruto. But Raila Odinga has supporters. People he can tell to go and jump in Lake Victoria, and they'll go. If you go to Coast, I've been to Coast attending some of these political events. That's where Raila Odinga has fanatical support. You go to any other places, even in Central, you'll find people who believe in Raila Odinga from those times. And even their homes are painted with the orange color. That's how Raila Odinga enjoys fanatical support. And after 2017, in fact, during the 2017 elections, Raila Odinga supporters believed that was the last bullet he had. And when that victory was stolen, a lot of confusion. Most of them, I don't know how to describe it, but most of them felt that their world came to an end. But the handshake between Raila Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta has given Raila Odinga a laughter. And his supporters now believe he has an opportunity to run again in 2022. So the question is, should Raila Odinga run again in 2022 or should he support someone else? And Raila Odinga as an individual, he's going to Busia today, but as an individual, I'm sure Raila Odinga is facing this dilemma, whether to run or not to run. And in my view, I strongly believe that this dilemma is caused by several factors. The first factor which is contributing to this dilemma, I think, is the NASA MOU. And it's making Raila Odinga not to be sure whether to run or not. During the in 2013, Raila Odinga went into an alliance with Kalonzo Musyoka. And in 2017, Musalia Mudavadi also joined. And I've not seen the memorandum of understanding, but it is said Raila Odinga was supposed to serve for 1 term and then support another presidential candidate, either Kalonzo or Musalia Mudavadi, whoever will win that ticket. And this now, if Raila Odinga will decide to break that memorandum of understanding between these guys, I think it will impact negatively on him. And therefore, it's one of the things holding Raila Odinga back from announcing that he's going to run again for the presidency. So that memorandum of understanding is that NASA MOU is the first thing which is putting Raila Odinga in an awkward situation. Because if he announces he will run for the presidency today, Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi will question him, his reliability. And even if he was to go into another arrangement with, say, President Uhuru Kenyatta, it will also be very difficult for those guys to believe him. Number two, the second thing, I think, is what I can call the emerging leaders in ODM party. For a very long time, ODM has remained the largest political party in this country. But in the last election, it lost a few seats because of probably other factors. But as a matter of fact, it's the only party in this country which has structures, where people meet, where we have elected leaders. These other parties are just briefcase. And because all ODM has existed for a long time, now it has existed for a long time, a lot of leaders are also emerging in ODM, and they hope to take over from Raila Odinga. Take, for example, the case of Hassan Joho. Hassan Joho is really keen on running for the presidency. But one thing he has been saying, he can't run if Raila Odinga will be running. And you don't know between now and 2022 how the politics will change. So people like Hassan Joho are putting Raila Odinga in an awkward situation, so that Raila Odinga is not very sure whether he should actually go ahead and contest or leave it to these young guys. People like Oparanya. Oparanya will not be running again for the governor, and he has announced that he will be running for the presidency. How are the maths if he runs for the presidency in ODM ticket? So will he run as a running mate for Raila Odinga? Will he support Raila Odinga? And if you even look at someone like Josephat Nanok, Josephat Nanok, the governor of Turkana, has defected from ODM party. Why? Because I think in his own calculations, he thinks in ODM there's no room again of growth. He can't grow further while in ODM because of the presence of Raila Odinga and the fact that Raila Odinga is actually planning to run in 2022. And people like Nanok are actually calculating their political moves, how they are going to be relevant after they exit the governorship. Should they be appointed cabinet secretaries? And how will that be possible? To supporting William Ruto or doing what? So these emerging leaders is another headache. And that's a big dilemma which Raila Odinga is facing. Number 3, I think Raila Odinga supporters are also a major dilemma for Raila Odinga. These supporters are putting a lot of pressure on Raila Odinga to run. And some also believe Raila Odinga should now support someone else. A case example is Professor Sam Ongeri stated this very clearly sometimes back in Kisii. He was in Kisii and his supporters are putting on pressure on him to ask Raila Odinga to run again. And during that time, Raila Odinga had said, I think was it in Bondo, that 2022 politics is not going to discuss as at now, that he has not announced. And Ongeri asked Raila Odinga that if he wants to exit political scene, then he must go to Kisii and tell those people himself that he's not going to run. Because someone like him, he can't now operate politics without Raila Odinga. And there are some NASA supporters, Raila Odinga supporters, who now feel Raila Odinga should give someone else. They feel this voters fatigue. They voted 4 times without success, and therefore they believe the best thing Raila Odinga can do to them is to support someone else, so that someone else hopefully will not be stopped by the system. So Raila Odinga supporters is a key factor which is putting Raila Odinga in this kind of dilemma. Number 4 is the new voter generation. Raila Odinga is enjoying fanatical support, but from which clique of voters? Which age group? Because in 2022 and even in 2017, a lot of people who voted are very young people who were born. They don't understand these reform things. Whether you tell them Koigi Wamwere was arrested in jail, whether you tell them about demonstrations, they don't understand. That's why someone like Moses Kuria the other day was telling people about revolution, because Kokola Tiagas wants. People like Timothy Njoya understands better what agitations is. But this new generation, they don't understand. They're the generation of WhatsApp, where when people go for these demonstrations, the only thing they do is to take videos and post on Instagram. This group of people and Raila Odinga, they really don't meet at any given point. The only hope for Raila Odinga is that most of these people view him as Baba. So they support him as Baba. But they don't support him because of Raila Amolo Odinga, the brand. So that's sort of putting Raila Odinga in a dilemma. Because Raila Odinga can now turn out to be another Joho who can go on Instagram, takes a photo with a boat in the seas there, in the Indian Ocean, a boat ride, then post on Instagram, and instantly a lot of these new voters are in love with him. No, Raila Odinga can't do that at his age. So these new voters is a dilemma. So because they influence a lot or how people are going to vote in 2022. But they don't understand where Raila Odinga has come from, his ideology. For them, maneno maisha ni sahi, you don't sell them hope. For them, they just want it instant. So they are giving Raila Odinga a problem. The other dilemma is the ODM nominations. The ghost of the ODM nominations. ODM party is one of the largest party. And if ODM can conduct a free and fair nominations, then I strongly believe ODM party can emerge the strongest political party in this country. There's no party which can defeat ODM party. But ODM party has lost seats because of the botched nominations. I just want to give you 2 or 3 examples. Let's go to Kisumu East. The MP for Kisumu East is Shabir Shakil. This guy was in ODM, was an ODM MP. His certificate was he was denied the certificate. The guy ended up contesting. He contested on an independent ticket, and he won the seat, right on the ODM ticket, from ODM party. So ODM lost that seat. You go to here, Kisumu West. I'm just talking of Kisumu County. You go to Kisumu West. Olaga Lodge. He was denied a ticket. He contested on Afford Kenya, and even last time he also decided not to contest ODM ticket, just Fort Kenya. And ODM has lost several. If you go to Kakamega, the people who won on Jubilee, most of them were actually in ODM. And that's how ODM has messed. And now, therefore, the challenge is very many people are not keen on contesting on ODM nominations again. They'll go with their ticket, wait for ODM to nominate a candidate, and then challenge them during the during the main general elections. And therefore, this is posing a challenge to Raila Odinga. So Raila Odinga should decide whether he's going to run or is just going to remain a party leader and focus on developing the ODM Democratic Movement Party. And lastly, is this rigging. Raila Odinga has contested in 2017. He won free and fair and clear. He won free, fair, square, clear. You can use any term to describe the 2007 elections, but he was never the president. 2013, 2017, they believe Raila Odinga was rigged. Now, should they try again in 2022? That's the dilemma they are facing. And that puts Raila Odinga in an awkward situation. So in my view, those are some of the factors which are putting Raila Odinga in the dilemma which he is currently in. I don't know what you think. Do you think Raila Odinga should continue contesting? Or do you think he should identify someone and support in 2022? Let me listen to your views down here. And if you're bumping on this video for the first time, what we do on this channel is we analyze politics. And the best thing you can do is to always just click the subscribe button and then choose the bell button so that anytime we produce a video, you get notified so that you don't miss out. And to the subscribers, I want to continue. Thank you guys for your continued support. Thank you guys, and please enjoy your day. And by the way, Embrace team was in Kisumu yesterday, And that image of Sabina Chege crying at Baby Pendo's home has elicited a lot of reactions from Kenyans. The Kenyans who believe they are crocodile tears. But personally, I know we make mistakes as a country, but if we forgive and forget, and it has to be honest, then the country can move forward. There's no way we can keep on holding. People were killed in Kiamba. People were killed again in Kisumu. People were murdered, maimed. Yeah, but we should allow it to continue like that. And those mistakes should not hold us back. Yeah, we should just forgive and forget. And in my next video, I think I'll look into details that Sabina Chege incident and why it's going to be important for this country. Thank you guys, and please enjoy your day.